I don't care about any of these people, even the victim. I don't feel bad for any of these people, even the victim. And let me make that 100% clear. I think that you're seeing a situation where people are drowning in their own venom. There are a bunch of young people that can't handle sex, a bunch of people that boast and talk about how they care about women and pushing women, and at the same time, they will womanize. People that say they're above being used for sex to push their careers ahead and use sex to push their careers ahead. You will see all of that here. People that set rules like you need to have the victim speak first before you come out with an allegation. After all, it's their story. Come out with the story before the victim signs off on it. Every single left-wing rule is broken because they don't exist, because it's a bullshit ideology. How's that grab you? That's what I think. Every single rule is thrown out. Nobody cares about this shit. And the best part about it, I can't be held accountable by their stupid purity laws because I don't engage. I'm not a part of their political religion. It's great. I can look at all of this. And say, this is a bunch of degenerates that reject all normal ways to be an adult, try to have and it just completely falls on their face. We have a feminist that's a womanizer, a strong woman who sleeps with everybody to move up, people that tell us who to vote for and tell us that capitalism is the worst thing in the world, and in the same breath, they'll sit there and come out with a story before it's 100% T crossed and I dotted. This is an example of all people drowning in their own bullshit venom. Now you see this first guy, President Sunday, he talks a lot about power and how Destiny used it, and I don't think he got too much wrong. The thing is, I don't believe for a minute he wouldn't do the same thing if he was in the driver's seat. I don't believe any of these people. I think they're hysterical. I am only here to point and laugh. I am not here to moralize. But I do think it's ironic that the people that hate people like me, traditional Americans, are doing all this stuff. And I think it's funny when traditional Americans use this, and this is what the equivalent of. Do you ever see those like religious types that sit there and they talk about God and how wonderful they are and how pure they are, and you find out they're just the biggest piece of shit? This is the right-wing version of it. I've got no sympathy. None. Zero. Zip. Look, if you get into transactional sex and what we used to call when I was a kid hookup culture, and it goes the wrong way, that's on you, girl. That's on you, boy. That's the way it goes. That's the game. Sometimes you get burned, you know? And if you honestly believe that this one guy, because he's really good at debating or really good at politics, where he says all the right thing, is a good person just because he does this, maybe you deserve to get fucked over. Maybe. I don't know for sure. Maybe you do. I don't care. You don't feel sorry for this girl? No, I don't. I don't fucking care. What if she was your daughter? What are you running around with Destiny, Laura? That guy's a womanizer. He wears it on his fucking shirt. That's what I'd say if it was my daughter.
Brags about it.
Yeah, and brags about it. What were you doing messing with that fucking guy? He's a loser. No, he's not a loser. He's a winner, but you should know these fucking sociopaths when you see them. I remember a year ago, a couple people, because I always thought that, look, Destiny, I don't disagree with absolutely everything Destiny says. Like, yeah, I was with him on the Rittenhouse stuff. Since Trump got shot, he's gone nuts, because that's where he was before all this. But since the Rittenhouse stuff, he was the most sane liberal, the most sane. I never believed he believed any of the fucking things he was saying, including with Kyle Rittenhouse. I think it was just a means to an end, and maybe just a way to separate himself from Hassan. And it seemed to work pretty well. I think this guy only believes in power. I think his ilk and his ideology only believes in power. Power is the most important thing. And it comes right out in this. I believe the guy that made this video doesn't give a shit about victims. I think he only believes in power. I believe the girl that's the victim of this, by the way, a legitimate victim. Destiny victimized this person, no doubt, and probably other people too. I think they only believe in power and the acquisition of power. I do. This is what I believe. Am I wrong? I don't know. Make a fucking video telling everybody I'm stupid. I don't care, but that's what I believe, and that's because that's what I see. And I think it's funny. I think the whole thing is a fucking riot from the top down. And before you say you don't care about revenge porn, no, I don't. Never committed it. Well, I'm not involved in relationships where it can happen to me. No, I don't care. I don't care. Like revenge porn, I guess there'd be certain mitigating circumstances where a girl meets a guy and they're going out for a couple months and then he records out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I feel awful for that chick. I don't feel bad for anybody that knew Destiny's reputation that got in bed with him, including Lauren Southern. What an idiot she is. I mean, didn't Destiny say something to the effect of he was killing immigrants or something like that, or trying to drown immigrants, and he fucked her? What does that say about all these people? And by the way, I don't think this is specific to the left. You could be the holier thou right winger too. Believe me.
Yeah, I'm sure
obviously Lauren Southern's a fucking moron too. I'm not like these people. If they sit there and say, "Oh, I'm fucking pro-Trump," I'm with you. No, not me. Not me. Pixie suing? Good. Go. Don't care. Wouldn't be surprised if she lost. Wouldn't be surprised if Destiny won. Wouldn't be surprised if Destiny lost. Don't care. This is fucking fun.
Oh, if she actually does it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's like the whole other fucking issue.
We'll see. If there's power involved, I'm sure she'll be there. So let's check this out. First of all, let's put on right on the menu right now. This is bad news. Apparently, I only told this by Nick DiOrio. This guy right here, apparently he's a big Destiny guy. This could mean lights out because he's losing his political supports on his own side. All right? Okay, sure. This is Pixie. Oh, November 29th. The streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my use by making me a victim of revenge porn. And remember, this girl's entire narrative. And by the way, if she's been wronged and he committed a crime or he is liable, I don't care. Make a fucking difference to me. Sure, go get yours, girl. Sure. If you lose, I'm gonna laugh at you too. If you win, it'll be great. I can say no win. It's a no-lose situation. Here's my story. Blah, blah, blah. Also, if you are a leftist who talked about my situation without as much as consenting, contact me. You owe me an apology. Fat chance, sister. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. If there's enough pressure. No. If there's enough pressure. And if there's enough pressure on the leftists, wonder who that is.
They'll like eat him alive.
Yeah. He'll you'll see him. He looks. Who's that guy? The H bomber guy exposed. What was his name? The gay guy who just stole every other gay's writings and stuff and passed it off his own. I forget what that. He looks like this guy. The guy that we're just about. This President Sunday guy. He looks just like him. It's pretty funny to me. So your leftist talk about my situation when so much as contact me, it'll be an apology. On top of being a victim of revenge porn, I now have to deal with people that are lying about my dating life and further dehumanizing me. All right. Well, it's too bad. Lay with dog, get fleas, own your fleas, lady. Don't care. But let's watch the show. Oh, by the way, this guy is one of the most insufferable. James Somerton, that's right. This guy reminds me of James Somerton a little bit too. This guy is one of the most insufferable people I think I've come across in a bit. I wouldn't say a long time, in a bit. Maybe 6 months or something like that, right? From what I could see, he's right. Right is right. Right, Jimmy? Yeah, okay. What's right is right. I wouldn't be surprised if they find holes in this one later. I've already found a kind of a hole in this. I'll show it to you. Stick around. But I'm here. I'm not here to support the big Destiny's victims. I'm not here to support Destiny. I am just here to show you these people are.
I'm going to tell you a story about a man. It's a story that has been replicated over and over and
started off performative and dramatic. Let's see, a story.
Artistic
approach. What is this? A fucking trailer for a movie? What an egomaniac.
Over in government, in show business, in business boardrooms, restaurant franchises.
It's a story as old as time.
This time, it's about a man with a small social media empire on YouTube.
Mama Max.
A man who uses
the language he's using. It's fucking hysterical.
His clout and his fame to lure mentally and financially vulnerable women from his community.
Yeah, I'm sure absolutely he did that. I'm sure other women volunteered to get in his community to sleep their way into power too. I'm sure it went both ways. I'm sure he preyed on some girl that really just wanted to save Israel or save Palestine, and I'm sure he actually fucked a few girls that knew it was transactional.
Into sexual encounters which he records and then, without their consent, shares with others. It's about how that man developed such a stranglehold over his community that no one, no matter how disgusted they are, will dare call him out for this, even when it becomes public knowledge. And most important,
that's not true. That's not true. You might know that Nick DiOrio was involved in this. Well, I'm gonna say something right now. I'm gonna make a speculation. I'm willing to bet, because I listened to this phone call, that this bastard probably had a pretty good intention in indicting Nick, Tom, and Willie Mack. Don't think so? Let's go to an older video. And I think after he talked to Nick, he hedged. Why he hedged? I could only guess. I think probably because he did some level he knew he was outmatched. You can go listen to the video. But yeah, think I'm wrong? Watch this video.
So like if you're a commentary person, like a Nicholas DiOrio or a Turkey Tom or a Willie Mack, and your bread and butter is making videos on the quick, decrying the irresponsibility of people like Hassan Piker for making grandiose statements about politics that affect a lot of people's lives.
See, and that's the first thing. That's why he got Nick right. Nobody's doing that in my community. Nobody, not one. Nobody gives. I probably care more about politics than fucking Nick. Definitely Willie. Willie doesn't give a rat's ass. The only one that's probably closer to me is Chud. Nick, Willie, and Tom combined. So I believe this statement is a pretty good indicator, not 100% proof, that this guy was going to try to rope those three and try to make them be seen as complicit.
And about social issues that affect a lot of people's lives, with zero understanding of the issues.
With zero understanding in the issues, as if you fucking, it made a difference if you understand the ins and outs of the Palestine conflict when you catch Hassan in a lie. You don't have to understand the issues there. You don't. You could just make fun of him. Look at this YouTuber, this grandiose YouTuber, and he tells checkable lies. It doesn't have to be political. I know with Willie it isn't.
Without knowing where the place he's advocating genocide for is on a map.
They're so stupid. They're so stupid. Yes, Willie and Tom and Nick are so stupid, President, and look who's getting the finger pointed at them now. You, motherfucker, because you went out and took...
Tell me, he has all those books behind him.
Yeah, he's all his books behind. Yeah,
he's so smart.
Actually, a side story, supposedly someone, did you read all those books behind me? And he's like, no. I heard he said, that's pretty funny, though. I'm not really good at those games either behind me. In fairness, I'll give him that. No, I think there was a chance he was going to rope him. They were going to rope all three of those guys because they listen, power. Fuckhead. It's the power.
Because that's directly going to impact your wallet. If you are someone like Willie Mack, Nicholas DeOrio, whatever, these kinds of people, Turkey Tom, whatever, and you spend your time criticizing people for being irresponsible in their sexual relationships, being abusive, being manipulative, lying in public, leveraging your audience in order to intimidate ex-partners from speaking out again.
Is that what he's saying? He's saying those three guys are intimidating ex-partners? Really? 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 Nick? Really?
And Destiny does this with his wife or with other people.
Maybe he does.
Or he, for example, shares their nudes with random people in order to appear vulnerable so he can get sexual access with somebody else, or share sensitive DMs, and so on and so forth. Just basic violations of trust, possibly amounting to sex crimes. You're going to stay silent about it.
Yeah, so he's suggesting that all of us knew about Destiny's sex crime and stayed silent about it. Well, I'm here to clear up the fucking air. When the shit dropped, first of all, I always knew Destiny was a womanizer. I've known it for years. It's in the public. It's in the public. So I don't feel too bad for people that got involved with them. It depending on the situation, of course. Okay. Second of all, the first time I heard about this was in November when I guess Destiny was blowing with Nick Fuentes, or allegedly. All right. That's the first time I heard about it. You can do all the guesswork. None of it was verifiable. None of it. Zero. Here's another thing. The victim, from what I understood, and remember, this is like, hey, did you hear this, right? The victim, there was a possibility they weren't going forward. So you're supposed to do the right thing, keep your mouth shut, because you don't know what she's going to do. And there's another possibility too. What if she settles with Destiny? What if she goes to court and Destiny flips her $100,000 and she shuts up, and then you look fucking stupid. You look like you're holding the goddamn bag. So I heard about it. A lot of people knew about it. I think most people knew about it within the underground tunnel of the commentary community. Most people knew about it, but nothing you do about it. I've heard it, and not that I would have done anything about it anyway. This is not my fucking lane. My lane is to laugh at this shit, not get involved with this shit. So yeah, I think this guy had every intention of roping all those three.
This is a story about power and of how normal human feelings can be contorted to serve a machine to make a man immune to the effects of the abuse he has inflicted on an astonishing number of people.
Look at those books, they're old. He's so sophisticated.
Stephen Bennell II, or as he's known,
Stephen Bennell II. Why would you even say that?
Online, Destiny.
Oh, Destiny.
Is a highly successful
loser.
Political streamer and content creator who has garnered infamy not just for public outbursts and controversial political positions, but also for an impressive number of public threats, sexual scandals, and even outright criminal actions. This recently culminated on November 20.
Yeah, good luck. You say criminal acts. Boy, aren't you worried about getting sued by Destiny? Dipshit. This guy's a total amateur. How many subs do you have?
I think like 5K.
Sounds like a 5K thing to say. Reynolds Hughes, just a normal day, huh? Yeah. Thanks, Reynolds.
The 9th of 2024, when an anonymous Discord and Kiwi Farms user going by the name Solo Weeks
he's a Destiny A-logger, from what I understand.
Published a large repository of private messages and pornographic images and videos of Destiny with various men and women to Discord and Kiwi Farms, recordings that Destiny had shared to strangers without the consent of the people in them. It's important to note that this is not the first time that Destiny has been the subject of a large sexual scandal involving non-consensually leaked intimate material. All the way back in 2012, Destiny...
StarCraft days. I think it's so funny.
It's a while back.
I think it's hysterical to use me a pro gamer. I think it's too funny.
Destiny was caught up in a scandal involving a competitive StarCraft 2 player called Blue T, who had tweeted out a photo of his genitals. This was in retaliation for Destiny previously leaking nude images of her to his friends on Skype, wherein he laughed at how, quote-unquote, fucking hideous her face was compared to her, quote-unquote, beautiful body. In 2021, Destiny had a romantic entanglement with a YouTube streamer named Anna Voir.
remember
Anna
her.
would go on to become known for insisting, often tearfully, that she was actually in a long-term romantic relationship with Destiny, which Destiny denied, painting her as crazy to his audience.
Let me tell you something. He may have done all that, but he didn't have to paint with too many brushes to show that that woman was crazy. That woman did it all her fucking self, all right? I have no doubt in my mind that the Destiny manipulated that woman in some way or another, right? But she was actually crazy too. Because, you know, that's another thing you got to remember this in this stuff. And really throughout your life, more than one thing can be true at the same time. There can be multiple bad guys. There can be multiple good guys. There could be good and bad guys. And there could be all these people are trash can, right? And there could be crazy people. You can actually say and gaslight the public to say somebody's crazy, and they could actually be crazy too. I think this guy's fucking incompetent. I think fucking the bimbo who's probably trying to blackmail Destiny. I'll throw that fucking out there too. I wouldn't be shocked if she was working on a blackmail attempt. And I think Destiny's just what they probably say of them too. What a shock. All of them could be true. Every one of them.
It was later revealed that in fact, while Destiny was insisting to his audience
Yeah,
that
and it's nuts. And it's nuts. But I have no doubt in my mind that she was treated poorly. I mean, look how it treats people generally.
Trying to like just
Yeah.
person
I mean,
her,
nothing.
craziness.
Destiny's behavior with the
Sounds so,
videos
yeah.
sucking some guy's dick, none of this shocks me. You know.
saying
He's a
he was
fucking
actually
degenerate, dude.
Yeah, I know. I think none of us.
That's all he is. He's just a very degenerate
I didn't
fucking
really
guy.
care that he sucked that guy. I want to know if it was Nick Fuentes. That was way funnier.
sexting her the entire
I
time
really wanna know.
and referring to her
It's
with
not
terms such as princess in their conversations. Anna threatened to post these sexually charged texts to prove that she wasn't crazy and that this was all actually taking place.
Yeah, she didn't help at all.
And in retaliation, Destiny threatened in public to leak her nude photos if she did so.
Like if you and I had like sexted or
He's an animal. He really is. He's always been an animal, though. Like I can't even get mad
no
at him.
fucking
I
principles,
can't even get
nothing.
mad at him because all this shit is old news, man. Nobody gives
It's
a
all out.
fuck.
It's from a fucking live stream.
I know.
It's not like a leaked DM or some shit.
I'm sure Destiny sits there in life and can you believe this? I could sit there and get on stream tomorrow and go on about the evils of revenge porn and do it at the same time, and my audience won't say shit. It's just like it's almost like we got to see it like through Mama Max when he's like, Mama Max, Charlie, I'm the pedo hunter. I could fucking end you. I bet I'm sure he does that because he can break every one of the rules that he tries to paint other people as being horrible for. It's so funny to me.
something, or traded nudes, and you were like, I'm gonna leak your nudes, and I go, fuck you. If you leak my nudes, I'm gonna leak your nudes. Is that like blackmail, or is that like abusive? I disagree.
So do you think
Yes.
that leaking sexting and leaking nudes is proportional, or do you think it's a proportional response?
People actually debate this shit.
It isn't like just cancel it out.
This is a conversation
Yes,
with
it
adults.
is.
This is like these are real people, everybody. It's not AI generated. People actually
And
fucking
guess
do
what?
this.
They make more money than you.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. I can accept that. That's fucking funny. You know.
In the way that you're reacting to that?
I think it's about proportional. Because you're leaking like sexual material and shit from another person. Yeah, fuck it. I think it's proportional.
Destiny has also at least once admitted to accidentally sending homemade videos of him and his wife to people who his wife did not in advance approve of in accordance with a previous agreement.
That's what you get
do
for
that?
marrying. That's what you get for marrying him, you bastard, and having an open relationship.
That he wouldn't.
Me and Melina had a conversation.
Are you shaming people with open relationships? No, I think it doesn't work, and stuff like this happens because they're open. Got it? Can't deal with it? Go.
About there were a few girls we talked to. It was like, oh cool, like we should record videos of like us fucking shit and send it to people. Like it's fun. I kind of like have like my little archive of like Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of like Melina and Melina. And Melina talked to me and she was like, hey, if you're gonna send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, like let me know that first.
Wait, if you really are conservative, that's why this is just a great. If you're conservative and you're also involved in like online stuff, this is like the great. You'll never forget this day the rest of your life.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's what's
Steve's-
happening to me.
Steven's actually going to be responding to all this fucking shit and says he's going to be suing everybody. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that
like in a
too.
few
That's
hours.
tomorrow's show.
Because she wanted to be careful. And so I was like, oh, okay, sure. That was fine. I didn't think about it at the time because I didn't think it mattered. But for the first thing, like, okay, yeah, I should have like checked 100% with Melina to make sure. But like, this is
Other examples of threats and sexual misconduct made by Destiny are plentiful, but the general point is this. Destiny has a very bad history when it comes to sharing intimate material of people that he is sexually involved with without their consent, and of using the threat of their release to keep people in line. If this brings a certain Diddy to mind, you are not alone.
Let's tie this
Oh,
into Diddy.
of course he did.
Oh, no, I know. It was him or Epstein or or the other guy from Merrimack. He knew that was coming. That was the only
Like
thing that
with
was
Diddy,
guaranteed.
when people speak out about Destiny's misconduct, the responses vary from silence to dismissal to outright threats of exposing their intimate information and media. Unlike with Diddy, these aren't just allegations. We have the receipts. In 2023, Destiny's
actually
wife
did it.
Melina
Destiny did it. Destiny did it, did he?
Yeah, I see what he did.
publicly separated from him. In response, Destiny went on stream and indicated multiple times that he was confident that Melina would not leak any unsavory details about the relationship to the public because he too had compromising information on her and logs that would seriously harm Melina's reputation if they were revealed. Whereas,
There's
since
another brother that harmed her own reputation. She was insufferable too.
his reputation around relationships was already so low, he would be effectively immune to the consequences.
Pretty much true.
Why do you think that she isn't going to leak or talk shit? Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows that everything about this makes her look like a f***ing satanic demon. She knows that. She's threatened it a million times.
Maybe it's all of them.
That's a fucking threat, right?
Oh God, yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start leaking everything.
It's gonna throw it out.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, if you really want to, holy f***.
You know what I thought? He always beat these girls because they would all like they were like, "This is my chance to be a victim, right? That I could be. This puts me up the higher on the scale on the fucking And they would kind of burn themselves by just coming off as like a bunch of tryhards, and then he would skate. I knew they were probably telling the truth, but that's not my community, man.
Because my reputation is already zero in regards to our relationship. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible piece of shit. We want to start leaking shit. We can do it.
Fast forward to November 2024. Due to the solo leaks,
Yeah, like, I mean, in a normal circumstance, that would have been enough for people to say, this guy's a sick fuck. I am not listening to a lecture on feminism from this guy ever again. Like, that would have been the end for, like, any normal person.
come to light that Destiny has been sharing intimate private messages, nude images, and pornographic videos with a 19-year-old OnlyFans creator called Rose, who he was sexually
Rose is
interested in at the
coming.
time.
Why does somebody do this shit?
It's one hell of a fucking name, dude.
Like, the most oversexed place I ever worked was the United States Army here in Germany. And like, but it's so much more normal compared to it's single people going out, getting drunk, fucking, probably regretting it the next day, and going out and doing it again the next weekend, and that's it. Now, there was consequences for this. Girls could turn you in whether you raped them or not, and you'd go on an investigation, and you didn't even have to know who you accused you, because it was some stupid system they set up. And some people got burned by that. But you know what? When you entered that fucking world of the sex part of the army, guess what? It could happen to you. Better choose wisely. I'll give you an idea. There was a girl that already accused another friend of mine of rape. Okay? He was going to trial for it. He beat it. That's another story altogether. And we were all, me and my buddy Tom, we're sitting in fucking two Toms, we're sitting here having a beer, and she walked in the room to party, and we walked out of the room to party at like off post. I guess the kids today don't do that.
Called Solo Leaks, who may for all we know be Rose herself, who then published them to Discord and to Kiwi Farms. These leaks included intimate romantic and
Bungus, I was expecting to get involved with Mr. Banshee, yeah.
sexual DMs between Destiny and Lauren Southern, who Destiny had long denied being romantically involved with while she became increasingly present in his public personal life.
Fuck Lauren Southern too. Oh God, you're a disgusting broad yourself. You didn't know? You didn't know? You didn't think he would take your conservative scalp and say, look whose dick, look whose pussy I was inside. You didn't think he'd do that, Lauren? What are you gonna do? You gonna preach to me on the way how to carry myself like a man? Go fuck yourself. You gonna tell us in there, people, we gotta have more kids and more babies? No. Are you married? No. You haven't even gotten past college fucking mentally yet. Fucking Destiny. Don't lecture me, you bimbo. That's what you are. You're a bimbo. Penmaster, I can't believe they got together. I can, because people who want power at all costs and will do anything to do it and don't believe anything are attracted to each other. I can totally believe. I think a lot of people that fall on the left with sociopaths that fall on the left and right politics, they only go there because it's like the path. It's the quickest way to power. It's a path of least resistance. If you grow up in New York City, you're going to do it from the left. You grow up in Alabama, you're going to do it from the right. Oh, she's hot. There's no doubt about it. But, she's supposed to be this conservative broad, too. Now, I want to hear her views on relationships.
Destiny even once described her activism as involving, quote-unquote, drowning refugees.
He said he drowned refugees. And they fucked each other. If somebody accused me of that, I would never want to go near them. Let's sight on them. So they fucked.
Anyways,
in fact,
let's
Destiny and
fuck.
Lauren Southern had been mutually declaring their love and admiration for each other.
Thanks, Wild. Appreciate it.
including expressing intentions to separate from the
I feel
respect.
bad for Chud because like he's getting the Tommy C vacation treatment.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking karma.
He finally go. Like I retweeted, somebody wrote that today. Yeah, I don't believe me. It's good and it's bad. You know, he'll come back and he'll be on fire. When you're on vacation and looking at this shit, you start getting ideas and stuff. Oh, I can say that. I can say this. I can say that. And you can't do it right there and then. But you don't get them when you're like in the trench, so to speak. It's weird. It'll be good for him.
All of this was happening behind the scenes, despite Destiny.
Never hate fuck before. It's oh yes, we were talking about that before, Mr. Miss. You know what? It's funny you said that. Yes, I have, right? But I think it was like 3 times in my life, right? In my entire life. So I was single from the time I was a teenager till 2007. Then I broke up with my wife. I was off for 2 years. I was single for 2 more years, and then I got married. Basically till 2007, after I turned 30, and 2 years in my 30s. That's it. That's all my dating experience right there. If I had to guess, Destiny loves to hate. Like to me, it was circumstance to hate fucking. Right? To Destiny, that's what he was going for.
Yeah, like it's
like
some
he
weird
really
fucking
I mean, it
fetish.
could be hot. Don't get me wrong. You're really mad at each other and then you end up in bed. Like, all right, sure. Like emotions don't respond to violence, but you have to go after that for that to be the pull. Like it's so obvious to me, and I think this happens to guys that get like a lot of sex. And I think I did okay, but I probably haven't gotten as much pussy as Destiny, right? And I think it gets boring. So like to me, like still at my age, almost 50, regular normal sex is still really erotic and wonderful. But I guess when you're like him, you've got to put spice on it, and just the spice, it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder until you're degenerate. Like normal sex is
fucking
totally
Nick
hot.
Fuentes' cock.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Right on the money. Like normal sex, the normal straight sex that is still really erotic to me.
He publicly claiming to his audience that he and Lauren were not.
And that's if you want to know, like if it's not good, the open kind of knock down these doors and be super experimental. Look, it's never happened to me, but maybe that's because you start putting more spice on it, and you don't know where those doors, maybe you can't close them. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Keep it simple. You'll never know what you're missing. That's my advice.
He's publicly accusing his wife Melina of lying and of being controlling privately when she would express displeasure and when she requested that Destiny stop associating with Southern. In addition to these leaks, which not only...
She told Destiny, stop fucking Lauren Southern. Well, I'm going to say it. It's not a full force guarantee. If you married her and decided to stay faithful, because that's what marriage is about, it would have been a little easier to resist Lauren Southern's pussy. Maybe not. Guys cheat all the time. But hey, maybe if you have something to lose, you're a little less likely to do it. Me, it's my kid.
He severely compromised Lauren Southern's career and personal life, but also established that Destiny was lying. Solo Leaks also published a massive dump of revenge pornography, which featured various sexual encounters with numerous men and women and sent to Rose as part of their flirtations, which incidentally include references to how he recorded other people, not included in the dump, including a recording of a sexual encounter with someone he met on the gay dating app Grindr with no mention of having alerted this person to the fact that they were being recorded. Note, it is a felony to record sex acts without consent in the state of Florida.
He's not getting arrested, buddy.
If he does, I don't care.
He's not getting arrested.
Yeah, probably not.
Cap.
Yeah, because the guy that was probably a closeted homo that fucking slapped him. I don't want anybody to know. He can have that one,
Destiny, who has a long history of threatening associates, friends, and family with public humiliation and exposure through releasing revenge pornography and intimate messages, actually did leak a tremendous quantity of compromising, sexually humiliating messages, images, and videos featuring other people.
I don't want to get into this debate, but is it revenge porn when you're sharing it and ogling it with a friend of yours, like Rose is coming? Or is it revenge porn when you post it and say, I'm trying to get revenge on this person? It doesn't have to be like a public post.
Yeah, because like without,
I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe
just
that qualifies.
handling it.
I don't give a fuck. I'll leave it to all the bread tubers to debate whether that's true, because I'm sure Hassan's gonna love this.
It's such like a weird
yeah, I just don't know. Is it revenge porn to me?
To at least one person without their
I
consent.
wonder. I just wonder. I don't
These
care.
were then publicly leaked, and the reaction has been total silence. Nothing. Historically, Destiny has always been boldly willing to threaten leaking private intimate material, such as during his separation from his wife, or to expose nude images to retaliate against women he was slandering, like Anna, or even just for the sheer pleasure of it, as in
When
the
did he
case...
slander her? With her being crazy? I don't know. I think that might be objectively true. I think two things can be true. I think she can be crazy and he could be saying she's crazier than she really is.
of Blue Tea mentioned earlier, where the only
That's
purpose
nuts.
was revenge.
It's both, right, Star-Lord? It's both.
This time, however, somehow, there is nothing. Not by Destiny, nor by anybody else. no streams,
The fappening leakers were prosecuted? I didn't know that. Thanks, Keith.
no video
Yeah, 'cause they
exposés,
leaked
no tweets by any
publicly.
notable figures
So, that is
denouncing.
revenge.
Believe me, Keith Richardson, this is not about me like getting the right take to make sure that like I know this is going to happen or I don't know this is going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised. This is not a declarative statement or an actual prediction. I don't care if he gets if he gets charged. Right. I'm not staking my. And you know what? Here's the thing. If I said like with I don't think he'll ever get charged, right? And people, my own fans know this. I don't know if you're new, Chris. And people come back and like, you predicted Destiny would get charged and he didn't. I'm not doubling down. I'm saying I'm wrong. I guess he's going to get charged. Great. You know.
What is an obvious massive breach in ethics and consent? Nothing.
My identity, let me make this clear. My identity is not wrapped up, nor do I care, on my YouTube fucking presence or on my image online. I don't care if it comes apart and I get something wrong. It doesn't matter because I talk about stupid shit for a living.
Which begs the question. Why? Why is everyone being so silent about something that by all rights should be a massive sex and abuse scandal about one of online politics' biggest?
Because Turkey Tom and Nick DiOrio and Willie Mack were complicit.
The most controversial figures.
Oh, edit that out.
As I said at the beginning of this video,
Sorry, guys.
this is not just a story about a man, but about power and how power works. And it's not a story that is new.
Power. That's
At the
all they
center of the
care
scandal
about.
is a concerted effort by Destiny's friends, associates, and
Power
community
and
to
fucking inflating their ego. I had the only conversation I've ever had with Destiny. It was basically, I mean, he was just telling me how he puts people on to humiliate them all the time. It's just part. It's no big deal to him. Nothing really bothers him. That was my only conversation with Diddy. And I was like, yeah, to a certain extent, a lot of people do that, especially the commentary community. Not recording does that, but you could really tell in our conversation he enjoys it. Yeah, he really gets off on it, man.
conceal and hide his wrongdoings by any and all means. This includes deleting any mentions of the leaks on Discord and Reddit, obfuscating the issue by acting as if the leaks only contain
Darling.
private sexual behaviors and therefore aren't anyone
I
else.
heard this one's an absolute monster. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know. I
is
heard
a
this one is.
psycho as well.
Whoa! Whoa!
else's business, or even offering money to the victims in exchange for their silence. Now, if one were to say that
Hush money's not illegal.
creators around
I know that's
Destiny
from Trump.
were simply remaining silent about this scandal in order
Wouldn't
to
it be funny if he was running around saying Trump should have got convicted of that shit in divorce, and he gets convicted of the same thing Trump got convicted of?
That'd be so fucking funny. That'd be
It is
so
so-
fucking funny, dude.
And he gets screwed to boot like Trump did.
That would be hilarious.
to continue to capitalize on their friendship with Destiny and have access to his audience, this would be a misleading oversimplification. Some people are doing that for sure, and some people in fact are even going out of their way to run interference to protect Destiny from the consequences
Tom
of his...
said he was distancing himself. I'm sure that's true. I don't talk to Tom like I used to, but I talk to Nick DiOrio like I used to. Like I once every 2 or 3 days. I heard about this, and I know Nick was disgusted by what he found. This was a bridge too far. So all these people are saying Nick was sweeping or something like that, or had plans to sweep. He did not. No way. And he knows I don't like Destiny. But he also told me that he wasn't going, because like he had no idea what she would do. That he wouldn't cover it until it was already. I don't blame him a bit. You cannot go. You can't. This guy looks like he jumped the gun to me too. I don't know how much shit he's going to take. But man, oh man. And I think she was waiting to get paid to see if Destiny would pay her. Everybody's playing chicken. Everybody's playing
Probably
chicken.
fucked.
President Sunday's playing chicken.
Probably fucked her over.
This broad's playing chicken with Destiny. Everybody's playing chicken with the sex tape. It's so funny to me. Why would you listen to anybody of these people about good government? I understand those people that are on Fox News, CNN, and they're all losers too. But Jesus Christ. How did you get fooled by the gamer ones?
But this is not a story about the nefarious deeds of evil men and women, but about power.
Power.
And it turns out
Power that I want.
that in fact a lot of
Clout.
people are simply afraid. Afraid of what they have a moral right or a public sanction to say given the sensitive nature of these leaks, and afraid of the retribution of Destiny and those in his audience if they say something that angers
Oh,
him.
she came to me, I'd have went for it. Nothing Destiny could have done to me.
A very large creator,
But I would have told her you asked for it.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh! We're at it again!
There's our good friend Nick.
That's the most powerful person in drama. Not Keemstar anymore, by the way.
YouTube commentary called Nicholas DiOrio, disgusted at the
He has all
obvious
the power.
sexual abuse
Yeah, look at this. I bet this was changed at the last minute. Let's hear it again. I guarantee this was changed.
of Destiny and those in his audience if they say something that angers him. A very large creator in YouTube commentary called Nicholas DeOrio.
I don't like the fact that he's putting like Nick Tom, like Tom, I guess was the closest to Destiny because he hung out with him, and I guess they had some kind of friendly relationship or something like that. But I know Nick didn't have a very close relationship, and I know fucking Willie went there once. I also know that I don't know Tom as well as I used to. I knew Tom when he's a kid. I don't really know Tom the adult that well. And but I never found either of them overtly political, you know. And I think he thinks that we're sort of like he sees himself as an advocate, and we see ourselves in the drama community as advocates. I don't think Nick does. I think Nick wants to goof on fucking people, and he doesn't really have an agenda one way or another. I don't think Willie Mack knows anything about politics, which makes him so perfect to criticize Hassan, because you get rid of the red herring of how much he knows about this particular topic. In other words, his qualifications. It just comes down to whether Hassan is lying or not. It's so perfect. He's the greatest monkey on Hassan's back. So I think
it's like he also like adds these principles onto Nick, onto Tom.
No, he's going to sit there and say that, you know, these fearful creators that thought they would be crushed by Destiny came to me because they were so failure. And the truth is, they just, like, here it is. Get this. You listen up, H-Bomber guy. It didn't reach the level where you could do this ethically. That's it. And not ruin your career. That's what happened.
Disgusted at the obvious sexual abuse and public coercion he was witnessing coming from Destiny and his defenders, and frustrated.
Well, I can say for when that shit came out and I talked to Nick, he did say that. He didn't say, I'm so disgusted. He said, he did say, this is too much. He did say that to me. He was disgusted. I don't mean to say that Nick wasn't disgusted. I just think these people think we're right-wingers or Destiny defenders or stuff like that. Like, it couldn't be further from the truth.
Fact that people were beginning to lump him in with the others who were actively covering for Destiny.
No, you were going to lump him in with the others. You were. I bet my fucking kid on it.
Reached out to me directly to clarify.
Chick's cross-eyed.
And with the others who were actively covering.
That cross-eyed evil bitch.
Reached out to me directly to clarify why he was not being more vocal.
Here they are. The guys who knew and didn't say anything. How much?
He told me that, due to the sensitive nature of the material, despite being very confident about Destiny's guilt, he was very conflicted about coming forward against Destiny on behalf of the victims in this story without them voluntarily coming forward first. This was for two reasons. First, Destiny has a history of persuading his victims to come to his defense during a scandal. Sure. This happened once when a creator called...
It was really funny when he did this. Now, people are going to be looking at Mr. Girl a little different. But again, you know, Anna's nuts, and if I remember, Mr. Girl overplayed his hand with this situation. But this was funny. I remember when this happened. It was kind of funny.
Mr. Girl...
He was like, oh, you abused Anna, and Anna comes out and like, no, I didn't.
Infamously attempted to accuse Destiny of lying about his relationship with Anna Voir. And in response, Destiny produced recent DMs between himself and Anna in which he got her to say that her own quoted claims against Destiny were false. And here it is notable that the fact...
The best thing about that is it got rid of Mr. Girl. It ended Mr. Girl.
That these DMs were between the alleged abuser and his victim did not seem to affect their credibility in the eyes of his audience. And second, because of Destiny's ability to use his hold over his massive audience to deal serious reputational and financial damage to people who he feels have slighted.
I gotta be honest with you though, some of this is bullshit. If that's true, if you're actually afraid of it. Destiny swung at me before and said stuff at me. All it is your fucking timeline blows up for a day. It's not that bad.
Nicholas refers explicitly here to the reputational damage Destiny inflicted.
Maybe everybody else is just a big pussy. Even the thing with me and Amory, which I was like actually at fault for, right? Like, it passes. You know, I crossed my T's, dotted my I's. I made sure I didn't do anything else stupid, but that was it. Just let it pass. You don't overdo it. You don't lie. You don't have to do anything.
On another commentary YouTuber called Chudlogic, when he was approached by Destiny's now ex-wife Melina to give her side of the story about the Lawrence Southern affair.
So, I mean, I've privately told everybody I'm completely distancing myself from this guy, waiting for this.
And I can verify that 100%.
Bomb to go off, but I don't want to be the one to fucking light it. But I mean, I feel stupid. I sent Destiny like a message of support at the beginning of this, like about his dick getting leaked, not about this part of it. Like, oh, it's a shame that your dick got leaked or whatever, which I guess is still valid.
I didn't realize how bad it was initially. I thought the big thing was the Lawrence Southern leaks. I thought, oh, he's got sex tapes. Okay, surprise.
Well, in the back of my head, I was thinking, why would all these people consent to their fucking nudes being exchanged?
Well, the answer is they wouldn't.
Even happen? They would absolutely not. They absolutely wouldn't. Yeah. And it's like. And I haven't really been able to talk about this with anybody because I'm at like it's a huge risk to even discuss it. because this guy's got such a chokehold over his community.
That's why he told me, because I'm not involved.
But I legitimately think if it ever comes up, I absolutely think that's career ending, and I don't think that could be defended. And if it can be defended by his community, it would fucking completely destroy. I mean, yeah, his reputation's in the toilet. It could be lower.
It could be. It's also it's in the toilet with people who care to know.
I am interested in how low in the toilet. I mean, fucking what's his face still has a career, Mr. Horsecock guy. I am generally fascinated to see how he gets around, right? And I don't care if he does or he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I think this is a viral everyone's story, video, like community-wide story. If this cover-up ever comes out,
What specifically would have to happen to trigger some kind of, determinate position on this in public for you?
I mean, I'll be super candid about it. He would need to talk.
Yeah. Would you have to talk publicly? Or do you just have to see it?
No, I think I've already seen it. I think she needs to talk publicly because if anything, if it comes down to it and Destiny convinces her privately to take that other... Look what happened with Chud Logic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly. And he was put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience, to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out, right, to keep him afloat, or he could just leak those messages and be justified immediately, and it would start like a huge conflict. And he did, I guess, and
then have the victim turn on you.
The right thing by loyalty, but like, you know what I mean? It's like. Yeah. If you don't have the person, then it's you fighting on behalf of somebody else. And I've seen this go down so many times with content creators where if they don't have the support of the actual victim in the situation, you're fighting a losing battle from day one.
Yep.
So principally your concern is that you're going to take a pretty big financial / audience hit if you were to do this.
I think there's a genuine risk that I'm going to get left out to dry here. Because if she doesn't...
Notice he didn't agree with that. Left out to dry. In other words, looks stupid. He didn't agree. Because he's trying to shoehorn everything into his narrative. The reason nobody will talk about Destiny is because there's a financial arrangement. He probably believed there's a financial arrangement with Willie and Tom and Nick. And didn't realize that, most of these people are pretty good fucking guys that cross their T's and dot their I's. Not without our mistakes. I've made mistakes. Tom made mistakes that are very public and stuff like that. But they're nowhere near on this fucking level. He just assumed everybody was just in, this is why this guy talks like this. He has the books around him, and he had a very simple conspiracy theory. Destiny's paying them.
A lot of people who would otherwise potentially be ready to support the victims of Destiny's systemic abuse of female and male colleagues are stuck between wanting to call foul on some truly reprehensible behavior and the realization that if they did, there are so many ways to spin them as the villains through Destiny's further manipulation of the victims and of his massive following. Two particularly aggressive defenders of Destiny have been Not So Erudite and Dan Saltman, who are both colleagues and close members of his inner circle.
Israel supporters.
Both have gone out of their way either to dissuade attempts to bring up the issue of Destiny's non-consensual sharing of intimate material of other people publicly, or to...
What did Dan Saltman do? I like Dan. I wonder what he did.
Do you want to pull up his alleged statements?
Well, let's see what they say first, and we'll get his statements. We'll pause now. Right. I want to see how Saltman's guilty.
His victims from speaking out or taking legal action. A major consequence of Destiny's silence.
Because let me tell you something, this crowd's got motivation to get Saltman. And I'm not getting caught up in this fucking shit. Maybe Saltman did. Maybe Saltman did it. Maybe he's come back. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. I used to like Destiny, but after the firefighter thing, I didn't like him much. Yeah, that's when the mask slipped. That's who he is. Remember, he was taking a bunch of L's. Remember, he was arguing they should be able to take Trump's name off the ballot. When I went to the Supreme Court, would they just shut that down 9-0? He's won again, and then a couple weeks later, Trump gets shot? Yeah, we started to see more of the real Destiny as the election went on.
When one community member, known as Fairy Queen, questioned Not So Erudite's continued association with Destiny, given the revelation that he had been sharing porn of people he streams with without their consent, and given Not So Erudite's own avowals of being a mental health expert and a feminist, Not So Erudite claimed that she was in communication with the victims behind the scenes and that they didn't want any additional attention. And so therefore, Not So Erudite was actually doing the moral thing by not holding Destiny accountable for victimizing them in the first place and for personally continuing to profit from the reputation of Destiny by whom she was employed. When pressed on this, Not So Erudite promptly terminated the conversation.
That's all right. Hillary Clinton's a great a feminist too, and then she tried to shut down old Bill Clinton's fucking tryst as well. See the pattern here? See the pattern? The ones who clutch the most. The priest in the whorehouse syndrome. I don't know if it's called that. That's what I call it. But there's a lot of that going around.
But it turns out that Nazi Erudite was telling the truth when she said she was communicating on behalf of the victims, because as it turns out, she was from
Her eyes are crossed, it turns out.
very early on the
Trying to get a good one.
primary
Look me in the eye,
middleman.
bitch.
Look me in the eye. No,
Stop
here.
lying. Look me in the eye.
Here.
Negotiating the price of their silence. Enter Pixie. Pixie is a
Here we
tiny
go.
streamer who, like Destiny's wife Melina, was visually identifiable in the leaks. Pixie
Pause real quick.
had been working closely
What did Dan do again?
I don't know. I'm trying
Where
to find
was
out.
Dan mentioned?
I don't know. Dan apparently is oppressing the victims. I don't know. what he do.
All right then.
with Destiny
Let's
since
keep watching.
she turned 20 years old in 2019. And in addition to appearing on stream together regularly, Destiny also got her involved in
I just assumed they were fucking.
positions organizing for canvassing projects, like with Progressive Victory, who he partnered with in 2024.
Yeah.
And she would accompany him multiple times to large podcast appearances, such as the Whatever podcast, which he would pay for her to be flown out to. Pixie had, for a very long time, repeatedly tried to present herself as an example of a woman who could succeed as a part of Destiny's orbit without being a member of his oft-rumored
I guess she's a liar. I guess she's a fawn. Or maybe she's a phony. Or maybe she was victimized because Destiny's so fucking charming. Or maybe she's not that strong after all. I know what I'll do. I'll fuck Destiny, tell everybody I'm not fucking Destiny, and then appear like I'm a strong feminist. Fuck you! There's no recording if you don't fuck them.
who offer him sexual favors in exchange for exposure and stream time. In light of these leaks, that image has obviously been shattered, and she has
A harem, yeah. Isn't it like an Arabic word? A harem?
Harem? It's I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, haram.
No, but a harem is like a group of women. I thought that was. I don't. Oh, haram. Maybe that's where it comes from. Who knows?
received the brunt of negative reactions to the
I've learned a
scandal.
lot of words like that in German. Like, I see where the English words get their roots.
Since people who hate Destiny and hate the politics of the people in his group are eager to laugh at the hypocrisy of
Same as yours.
one of them, even if it means joining in the
It's like one degree of separation with Israel. So what?
mass harassment of someone who is in fact a victim.
What happened to the days of sex at McDonald's? I don't know. Went to a movie, went to
I blame
McDonald's.
anime.
And then she gave me a blowjob. She's a nice girl. I think I'm gonna marry her, Will. Remember that?
Unfortunately, Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
A harem is haram, Will.
she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
So she tried to. All right. So she put out the lie out there that she's above sleeping with Destiny by sleeping in Destiny, and then went to blackmail him. I'm supposed to feel bad for her. No, I'm not. Decided not to this time. It's not career-based. It's not anything of the sort. It's just that these people are slime.
Oh yeah, you're right.
American
By the way,
And people,
harem does come from
I
Arabic.
fucking joke around with Ginny or do the love phone thing, and people call me a creep. I've never done anything like this.
Finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First, they can seek legal recourse. In fact, there is a federal law on the books as of 2022 that allows victims of non-consensual exchanging of explicit material to be compensated up to $150,000. And that's even if the leaks were
And now
not
they're all lawyers. Sit up on Wikipedia.
necessarily done maliciously, but only with reckless disregard for the consent of the victims.
Okay.
The victims may even have
And
their
actually, I don't know if this wasn't done maliciously, because it wasn't done to say, hey, look, this girl did me wrong, and here's her, boobs, or this is her having sex to humiliate her. This was, I'm showing somebody privately, and then that person got hacked. It's definitely reckless, but it's definitely not malicious. But who gives a fuck? Let Stardust argue with people over this. This is not for me.
identity concealed. Second, they may make a
cares?
public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent. And in fact, this can be done in
Yeah,
conjunction
let
with the
them
first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing. They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over. And this is their right.
Thanks for telling me and speaking to me like a kindergarten in your deep fucking pirate software voice.
Pixie
Yeah, fucking
did not
fake
do
ass
any
Mama Max voice.
Yeah, I wonder about him now too.
Yeah.
It's like, because he said he even went on and said it was a second puberty. I'm so embarrassed. I saw that video weeks before the WoW debacle, and I even showed my wife. I was like, yeah, you can have a second puberty. Look at this guy. And I'm like, what a fucking idiot I was for that, because I legitimately saw that move. There you go. There's proof right there that I don't care that all my takes are perfect. I told you something that I didn't have to fucking tell you that made me look stupid. I want to have fun. That's it. Really, that's the truth.
In an exchange that I have learned has since been circulated among the entire commentary community on YouTube and virtually everyone in Destiny's circle, Not So Erudite can be seen haggling with Pixie over the amount of money that would be appropriate
Can she see? That's what I want to know.
for Destiny to pay her to not involve the court system or to denounce him publicly. First, Pixie uses the implicit threat of her impending suicide and a scheduled note announcing it to pressure Destiny to pay out a significant sum of money, and then later
Oh my god. I'm supposed to feel bad for her?
switches to vague threats of public denunciations and legal action. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, her friend Straightraid was colluding to advise Destiny to offer to help her financially as penance to stave off her threats of self-harm. A situation that would obviously be a reputational disaster for Destiny. Note, Straightraid
Yeah, but you gotta kill yourself. For it to work.
You know, like a few cuts.
And these
just
ego
to
man,
get
I
it
know a
going.
few cuts would do it. Maybe write Destiny in your
Yeah.
arm or something like that. That'll do it. She's got a large head.
has also explicitly said that she did not consider the
Actually, what's with the 1970s haircut? Like, my mom had that haircut when she gave birth to me.
As revealed in earlier DMs between Pixie and Destiny prior to this conversation with Not So Erudite, Pixie and her friend Straightraid had used the specter of her
Straightraid.
impending suicide to alarm Destiny enough that he would be receptive to suggestions of financial compensation. Apparently, Pixie was hopeful from the beginning that she could get as much as a $1 million payout from Destiny, which Straightraid had to
That's
repeatedly
not
talk her
happening.
down from. The condition of this financial
That's not fucking
compensation
happening.
Yeah, that's why she's pissed
$1 million
off.
fucking dollars.
That's why she wants an apology. You cheated her out $1 million.
You fucking piece of shit, Sunday. You have any idea how many fucking logic reads those are? Those are like 2 fucking logic reads.
You know what would be really funny, and this
piece
is,
of
I'm
shit.
not saying that. Wouldn't it be funny if she knew she was recorded, but she was saving it for a rainy day? That would be hysterical.
is, of course, Pixie's
like a fucking
continued
Inception.
silence. This would seem to imply that Pixie's decision to not go
4D
public
test
is
Hold on a second, let's go back. That's so funny to me.
the condition of this financial compensation is, of course, Pixie's continued silence. This would seem to imply that Pixie's decision to not go public is not because she is afraid of the repercussions, or else she wouldn't be threatening Destiny directly with legal action or public denunciations,
This is the part she wanted you to leave out.
off of extorting Destiny,
Happy Trump Inauguration Day, by the way.
who also, it must be remembered, is a
Happy
victim
Vindication Day, by the way.
of
And what did
revenge.
Trump call it? Happy what-
Liberation Day?
Happy Liberation Day. It's L Day because all the liberals take an
Yeah,
L.
dude.
Is not because she is afraid of the repercussions, or else she wouldn't be threatening Destiny directly with legal action or public denunciations, but because she wants to profit personally off of extorting.
Oh, and that's one other thing I want to go. Let's rewind a second. Voice Nicholas Diore when she goes through. All right, we missed something. We missed something. We'll go back to 1948. Oh, that's an easy name to run. My dad was born. So, hang on a second. I just want to point something out real quick. Hold on.
Mass harassment of someone who is in fact a victim of revenge porn.
Are you sure? Because that's not what you told Nick.
I'm gonna stop. It's objectively not revenge porn.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. People
Maybe
saying that
President Sunday doesn't believe this bullshit either, and this is just a means to an end. He actually put this video out.
Let's
Think
play
I'm
that
crazy?
again, Tommy.
Let's do that again. Hold on.
play it again.
Hold on. Let's go back.
who is in fact a victim of revenge porn. I'm just gonna stop. It's objectively not revenge porn.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. People saying that are as stupid as people saying it's about him being gay. That
The
is not the
problem,
issue at all.
I view it in a similar manner, not in a malicious sense, but more like non-consensual releasing of private sexual.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, sure.
Nick, Nick
Okay.
is the drama guy, and he's supposed to be the stupid one. It's so fucking funny to me. We're supposed to be the dumb ones.
This group
Let's do it again.
are
I'm just
eager to
gonna do it
laugh at the
again.
hypocrisy of one of them, even if it means joining in the mass harassment of someone who is in fact a victim of revenge porn.
I don't want to say revenge porn because
I don't want to say revenge porn because Nick is doing what Nick does best: crossing T's, dotting I's, and being smart. And the college-educated guy, by the way, Nick is college-educated, but he doesn't need to wear it in his fucking sleeve. He dresses in hoodies and baseball hats like me.
we're gonna argue 50 different fucking
a-
definitions.
And these guys with books behind them like fucking do this.
Objectively, I'm just gonna stop. It's objectively not revenge porn.
They're all geniuses, and I'm a moron. Go. By the way, this is the other T. And by the way, he released this whole thing. It's so funny that he forgot about it. He crossed every T and dotted it. dotted every I, right? He released this, and you can listen, and you can come to the conclusion really easy when you listen to this, that he had every intention to rope Willie, rope Tom, and rope Nick, and then fucking hedged on it after he talked to Nick. Because it's just it's just like, I'll give all the credit. He called it a huge game of chicken, and that's what it was, and he lost. Sunday.
And then later switches to vague threats of public denunciations and legal action.
Yeah, that wasn't leaked. A wrong for practice. Ultimately, any streamer girl who has their news leaked is entitled to a financial compensation. They generally lost money. Yeah, you're probably right.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, her friend Straight Raid was colluding to advise Destiny to
Who's that?
It's her copyright if her fucking nudes get leaked.
I know. Good point.
offer to help her financially as penance to stave off her threats of self-harm. A situation that would obviously be a reputational disaster for Destiny. Note, Straight Raid has also explicitly said that she did not consider the situation serious enough to warrant a wellness check. As revealed in earlier DMs between Pixie and Destiny prior to this conversation with Not So Erudite, Pixie and her friend Straight Raid had used the specter of her impending suicide to alarm Destiny enough that he would be receptive to suggestions of financial.
I didn't even know with this drama that apparently I've been roped in. Here's the thing. I think you would have been roped in. And I'll send you this right now privately. And you tell me you would have been roped in. By the way, that's my theory. There's no 100% proof that you were going to get roped in. I'm going to send this to you, Willie, privately, why I think that's the case. And then you tell me, you watch it in your own time there, Willie Mac, if you think that was the case. This is what gave me the impression that you and Tom would have gotten roped in somehow, because I think they wanted to say you were all complicit. And after talking, it's pretty clear that nobody was. And why? Because you're fucking Odin Hassan, more than likely. They see you as a threat. They see you as power. They want that power. It's that simple. So you watch that there, Willie Mac, and let me know. I've already played it on here.
Compensation. Apparently, Pixie was hopeful from the beginning that she could get as much as a $1 million payout from Destiny, which Straight Raid had to repeatedly talk her down from. The condition of this financial compensation is, of course, Pixie's continued silence.
Yes.
This would seem to imply that Pixie's decision to not go public is not because she is afraid of the repercussions, or else she wouldn't be threatening Destiny directly with legal action or public denunciations, but because she wants to profit personally off of extorting Destiny, who also, it must be remembered, is a victim of revenge porn.
Wait a minute, are you sure about that, sir?
I don't want to say revenge porn because they're going to argue 50 different
Yeah,
fucking
maybe you're right.
It's
definitions.
objectively, I'm just going to stop. It's objectively not revenge porn.
Thanks for clarifying, guy with books behind him.
The one responsible for the leaker having the images in the first place, but he shared them recklessly, not maliciously. And of course, he has endured public humiliation as
These e-thoughts are not worth a mill. You're wrong. This one is, because this is probably going to cost him one.
well
At
for
least.
this. Destiny's close
And future earnings, which could be millions. So you're wrong.
friend and podcast co-host Dan Saltman,
What did Dan
the
do?
CEO of Redact, had also reportedly gone behind Destiny's back to
Reportedly. Nice.
How the fuck do we
Yeah,
know that?
this
By
guy's
the way,
a genius. And this guy thought he was smarter than Nick. Dan contacted Pixie a couple weeks ago. According to what she told me, he basically said, ask Steven for a reasonable amount of money and he'd probably pay it. Plus, he wanted her to convince her not to take legal action against KF, which he's considered.
legal action against Kiwi Farms for hosting the leaks. Pixie has since said nothing publicly. There has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the
So
L.
let her get her fucking bag, bro.
It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off, albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized.
He probably convinced himself he had paid her already because he had to get it. Because this guy's an A-logger, from what I understand. Tunnel vision, man. Not smart journalism.
In the past and will victimize in the future. And so we can see the circuit completing itself. Destiny seeks out vulnerable women in his community who are enamored.
I don't think this girl's vulnerable at all.
Yeah, she got a
Not
job.
this particular one. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure that happened. But this particular girl, the Pixie girl, what's vulnerable about her? She sounds like she's playing the game as well.
By his fame and success. He engages them intimately and records the interactions. Then he hoards these recordings and he shares them with reckless abandon, even occasionally threatening their release if the people in them do something to displease him. And when finally, the obvious result of recklessly
By the way, Willie wrote me back. Why is it always the people who breathe through their mouths, man? Yeah, they were gonna get you. They were gonna get you, Willie. They were gonna get you, Tom.
sharing these intimate images with strangers occurs and they are publicly exposed for all to see to the detriment of these people's reputations, mental health, and safety, he is able to buy off his victims and use their purchased silence as moral ammunition to shut down
Sounds like he hadn't paid that girl a dime yet.
anyone who would try to hold him accountable for what is clearly grossly unethical conduct.
Yes.
Destiny and the web he has created around himself is creating victims. And if it is allowed to continue,
Thank you,
it will
Jordan.
create more. I urge everyone to pay attention and to warn people about the danger they are putting themselves into by engaging with Destiny and his community. These are people who have been handpicked for their willingness to not just remain passive in the wake of intimate and potentially life-ruining abuse, but to also become accomplices in silencing the victims. And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily
So
constrained.
Pixie's mentally ill?
Maybe because like she was hot, probably why.
What
She was
is there a
relatively
possibility? I don't know. Like,
attractive
I'm
girl.
not a doctor or anything. And this is like, maybe I shouldn't throw this word out there so easily. But is it a possibility that she's a hoe?
Whoa, where did you get your medical degree, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm way out of line there. I take that. I disavow.
Calm down, right? Calm down, man.
Disavow.